Welcome to another Pike and Shot battle. This time we have the French 1550 versus Awesome Four's English 1543. So the English list can bring longbowmen, terrible bow and billmen, mediocre cavalry, and some mercenary pikemen. If I wanted to, I could bring the Swiss Kyle, but I don't think I'm going to do that. Bring our Germans. And we'll bring, what's the difference? Armored versus unarmored light lancers. I don't really like paying for armor and lights, but we definitely want our skirmishing arquebusiers. And cheap French and Italian pikemen, or French or Italian pikemen, could be useful against the bow and bill or holding off cavalry. I can get gendarmes, although it's not the greatest country for them. I suppose it's pretty open on the right. The problem will be if we end up fighting the forest as longbowmen are all swordsmen, which would be a little bit tough. Get Italian gendarmes. They only move 3 tiles in their average. So I'll get the detached ordnance archers. They're not actually archers, it's a medieval holdover. Get the massed arquebusiers. And the gendarmes. Alright, 156 points remaining. I could get a bunch of not very useful cavalry. I could drop 1 unit somewhere and get Swiss Kyle. And it's tempting. 176 points just seems ridiculous, though. Would I rather get 2 gendarmes or 1 Swiss? Or I could get light horse. I like my flex, but I also like to do fun things sometimes. So let's do the fun thing. Grab the Swiss, grab some mounted arquebusiers, call it good. Okay, deployment. The forest is a problem. You can fill it with longbowmen. Let's keep all of our light cavalry on that wing, actually. The question is, do we want to funnel through both of this gap and around the forest this way? Do we want to pile everybody here and strike around? I think if I did that, he was just going to slip around. We'd wheel, and then I'd be downhill. So I think we must try to hold some units here. Light arquebusiers to this forest here. Massed arquebusiers are going to kind of line the edge of this forest so that if the longbowmen creep in, we can shoot at them. And if they charge us, they'll be disordered if we're against the tree edge at least. Although it's a bit of a thin line. Alright, Reiter cavalry in reserve. Gendarmes to the right. Okay, and then our pike blocks. What to do? Let's see, Landsknecht here. The Swiss will help strike here. And then I think I'll send these Landsknecht with them and keep our French pikemen that are raw and thus horrible in reserve, and they'll go whichever way they're needed. Next turn. 3 units of longbowmen. That's actually not that many. We should be able to deal that even in the forest with our massed arquebusiers, working in tandem with our light arquebusiers. So we will need to redeploy, however. First off, get the mediums forward to the wood. Combined with our lights. Then our Landsknecht Kyle and our French pikemen can all shift over. Even raw French pikemen can pretty effectively fight billmen and longbowmen. The Reiter, I'm trying to decide if I want them to join the fun in the center or try to go for a long flank. Kind of like the idea of a long flank. They might arrive too late to do anything, but maybe not. So, 6 units of non-light cavalry to my 2. Over here, it's a bit awkward. My guns are also bound to get overrun. Try to stretch out the line a bit while we get our infantry into place. Really, we just need to hold off his large number of cavalry while we seize the forest and hopefully get our 5 units of pikes confronting his infantry line. If I get my Swiss and Landsknecht confronting his pikemen, then I could get my raw and other Landsknecht confronting the bow and bill, with the musketeers taking out the archers in the wood and the Reiter moving around. Hopefully, something like that. Next turn. We'll need to make sure my raw French pikemen are not fighting his mercenary pikemen. That would not go well. I guess it's my final chance to decide whether I want to pull these Reiter back. No, we're gonna keep going for it. Okay. If he halts there, that's fine. We'll just seize the forest and then attack. If he attacks, then we'll just have to keep rushing this cavalry. Next turn. Can pretty much ignore the archery. It's not going to have any effect. These deep bow and bill units have less firepower actually than the 500 man units of longbowmen because of the way the men are deployed. Now, of course, they're tankier in melee, but they're still garbage against Pike Kyles in the open. Good. Now let's send our greetings. Take cover in the wood and get into charge range. Oh, that's a bit awkward. Ultimately, we're going to lose our right wing. We just need to lose it slowly. Next turn. More arrows to ignore. Let's see if he moves inconveniently close for us. No. Yeah, that was bound to happen. Oh, how very awkward for you. Okay, I'm alright with that. Get the flank. Perfect. Cover our own flank to the best of your ability. Good. And lock in his Landknecht with our own. And the question is, who do we crash into? I would very much like to fight his best pikes with our pikes, although it will mean getting shot at for just one more round of fire. Let's see if this unit charges us, and then we can get a flank in. And our Reiter will continue their long flank behind. They might actually get into contact in a couple of turns. That would be very useful. Next turn. Alright, so my cavalry wing's probably going to get annihilated. Good. Hello. These melees will be a bit tough because the longbows have swordsmen, but after that we should be able to get some flanks in. Fragged, let's break them. Okay, good start. Threaten the rear of the bow and bill. Here we go. So Kyle plus 100, troop quality minus 25, as opposed to pretty much nothing for the enemy. And then we gain our light armor advantage in the next turn. Or we just do that, that's good too. The Swiss doing the Swiss thing. Oh. Really? That was so unlikely. Alright. We're still gonna win this melee. The problem is the nearby gendarmes. Here we're pinned down. If we charge, we have flanks. We can only stand and waste their time, really. Alright then, the light lancers to do more harassment on the rear of his units. Okay. That's bad. But this is going well, so I guess I can't complain too much. Awesome 4 says he totally buggered up the longbows in the woods. This is a bit messy for him, but there's hope for him elsewhere in the field. Yeah, goodbye to our gendarmes. Do we bounce them? No. Oh no. Even... Yep, frag. That's really quite bad. Well, everyone else is just gonna have to do it then. Okay, so on the bright side, we did set up a flank attack. Let's have our lights just shoot at these longbowmen. Okay, if these billmen and longbowmen move to threaten the rear of our French pikemen, we will zone of control lock them with our arquebusiers. Problem solved. Very good. Let's try disrupt there with the lights, maybe? No. Alright, and now we're doomed, so we might as well get our charge in. So, bad, but this is going fairly well. So we'll see what comes of it. Next turn. Goodbye. What a shame. If only they'd held their nerve on the first impact, they would have been completely fine. Oh. They break. Does it have an effect? No. Yeah. I guess that's what happens when you don't bring enough cavalry. The few horsemen you do have just get wiped out. Okay. Well, get ready for that flank. And what? Lock them in. You lock in the light lancers. Good. Now that we've disrupted them, it shouldn't be a great danger for us. Do I, shoot at the billmen? Or charging at the longbowmen? I think shoot at the billmen and longbowmen. After we impact, good. Redisrupt the Landsknecht. Stayed stuck in. Is that wise? See if our light horse can disrupt. Nope. Well, can always try again. And that's everyone. Alright. Next turn. It's quite even. Bounced them, that's fine. Good. We hold, yes. Also good. Should obliterate this bow and bill with gunfire. As long as we frag them. If we only keep them disrupted, they'll still overcome our massed arquebusiers. Good. Hopefully the Swiss come back under command quickly, because we're going to need them at that rate. Let's try to catch this unit. Good. And lock them in. It's unfortunate we'll lose this unit too, due to the demo lancers, but I don't want to lose these mounted arquebusiers. They could be useful later. Good. Frag, that's excellent. Let us commence. Good. In that case, we can proceed to try to get into position in this rough ground here. Do a charge as well, why not? Very good. Next turn. Oh no. Well, hopefully we hold just a little bit longer. Ah. Do we break? We do. Damn. That's very bad news. That means we're going to lose some massed arquebusiers as well. Oh, but we get a rally. That's probably a decent trade-off. Ooh. Maybe not. Maybe not. These guys aren't too useful outside of a forest. We'll need our lights to protect this frag unit from a charge of light lancers. And in the meantime, turn the Swiss around. Okay. Raw troops. Yeah, we're not going to charge these pikemen. Well, if they hold on, we might be able to win before they break. Maybe. So, getting a well played, sir, so it looks like we have reached the end. Ooh, 63. Vicious. What? Surprising. I mean, they have numbers in the hill, but still. The gendarmes are superior and have a melee POA. Their armor does not count against master arquebusiers. There we go. So taking this forest was key, and losing the cavalry wasn't such a big deal because they conveniently ran away in a direction that made it so that most of his cavalry couldn't come back to engage us. And in terms of the forest fighting, the longbowmen are definitely better than our massed arquebusiers in the forest. Their firepower isn't as good, but they have swordsman POA, and we don't. But I believe I brought 6 units into the forest battle, and Awesome 4 only brought 4, so numbers can tell. Furthermore, Lightfoot are not disordered in the forest, whereas the longbowmen are medium foot, they are disordered. And swordsman is a melee but not an impact POA. So the impact of light arquebusiers against longbowmen is actually quite bad for the longbows, and that helped get some disruptions and frags and the like in there. So, a good game to Awesome 4. And until next time.